During the first wave of COVID-19, there was a lockdown in the city of Port Moresby, and with it came the reality that Port Moresby could not cater for the needs of residents who were directly affected by the lockdown, residents who relied on paid jobs, and also those that made a day-to-day living selling goods to provide for their daily meals. NCD Governor Powers Pakop said in the first wave lockdown, they provided food rations for those in need, but it felt like they were handouts.
The first wave, we distributed a lot of food, and some of the recipients, perhaps they did not really need it. It becomes like something like free handout or something.
Donations like this from the Iglesia Ni Cristo Church of Christ in Papua New Guinea will help those that need it the most, but it must not be the solution. Pakop adds also that the government does not have a foolproof plan on catering for residents that will have their incomes affected by the lockdown.
On the part of the government too, we have not made any decision yet as to whether we are going to support communities with this type of food vouchers or food packages and so on. That's something I hope we don't get to, and this is one of the reasons why we are holding back, at least in the city, against lockdown.
A partial lockdown could be a solution, but any form of lockdown should not affect the livelihoods of residents that rely on the exchange of cash, mostly in the informal sector, to support their daily needs. Pakop says they have not put out an appeal for food donations as yet because he does not prefer a lockdown that would make people reliant on food handouts, which could prove to be an expensive exercise.
In the first wave, we did an appeal, especially the business house, they responded. Central Province too supported us through the support of the national government. But at this time I have not done any appeal yet because I want us to try to maintain some level of normalcy so that people can sustain themselves. Market di obiet, PMV ronyet, na taxi ronyet, but problemnya mo sa magadi onyet na taxi ronyet na PMV ronyet. And all people blue me karim virus around here. Very important that our people do their part. And me oklong okim sa talk sabe na warning kamlo people blue me. I hope they do their part. Me no like by me lockdown here, but it's up to our people now.
With a spike in COVID-19 infections in the city, the only option seems to be another lockdown. It will only be certain in the coming days, and NCDC is closely monitoring the situation with relevant health authorities.
Recommendation for a lockdown in order to break the spike is high. I've got representation from the medical board, PNG medical board. I'm waiting for the Secretary for Health. I've communicated with him and I'm waiting for his opinion. And I'm waiting for the 3 CEOs in the front line. POMGEN, Taroma Aquatic Center with St. John's, and our PHA. If they tell me they can cope and we need to break the transmission by lockdown, then we don't have any choice but to do it. But I prefer that is the last resort. Dr. Mulumi Tokimimi, in the beginning it was about 37%. That means 3 out of 10. But now it's gone up to 80-something%. So that's about 8 out of 10 man-meri infection.
Fidelis Sukina, National EMTV News.